It was like predisposed right at that where they always find a little bit more when they go in, and it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when.
Didn't have any predisposed issues. Man, my ankles were feeling really good.
He said he had one in high school, and then he said he had one at Auburn.
I don't think he really should share how many surgeries I've had in the past, to be honest with you, but because I don't, he doesn't really even know that.
It's the Chad Brown and DMac show as Chad is live from Super Bowl 60. How exciting. And I'm playing what I'm playing there because I got word, Chad, that there will be no Sean Payton on Radio Row this year. He will not be there. And I can't help but think that's one way to not answer who's calling plays or to take questions about Bo Nix calling him out for injury revelation. What's your take on Sean kind of laying low during Super Bowl week?
That's so interesting for a guy who loves the cameras and the microphones and loves to talk. This is the place to do it. So it feels as if he was maybe pushed in this direction by someone who has a higher pay grade than he does to make sure he doesn't put his foot in his mouth, because he's done that a few times too often recently. So I'm not surprised that we get Stephen A. Smith and we get Cam Newton, but we get no Sean Payton here at Radio Row.
We do not. We're going to talk about what's going on in Radio Row, but we're brought to you by Journey Spice. Make sure you save 10% using this QR code and go to Amazon.com. No matter what you're cooking up, it's better with Journey Spice. Chad's on the road, so I'm not sure he's got Journey Spice on the road with them at the Super Bowl. They do have some fancy dinners there. But, Chad, the best meal that you've cooked with Journey Spice this week is what?
Before I left, I hooked up some sweet potatoes. I think I talked about that with the Za'atar seasoning, one of my favorite seasonings. Those sweet potatoes were off the charts, my friend. So any of the, root vegetables, beets, potatoes, sweet potatoes, Za'atar, it's going to make them all better.
Talk to me about Radio Row and where you're at, what you're seeing, and what you've absorbed in the past 24 hours being out at the Super Bowl.
This is a weird year. Not as many celebrities at this one. Of course, you're going to see all the football players that you could ever want to see. Had a little linebacker reunion just about 30 minutes ago with me and Brian Urlacher and Joey Porter from Colorado State.
Very nice.
This is probably the biggest day today and tomorrow at Radio Row, Thursday and Friday. There'll be a lot of Hall of Famers and those guys walking around, but I have yet to see a celebrity. It hasn't been like a Morgan Freeman or something like that, what it's been in the past. And I would say overall, the vibe is a bit subdued. And San Francisco, while I normally think it's a great, fun city to come to, is not ideal for the Super Bowl. There's a bit too much traffic.
Yeah.
It's hard, when your map says you're 0.6 miles away and says it's going to take you 30 minutes to get there, there's just literally nothing more maddening than that. So, it's been frustrating, a little too much time in cars and all that. And so San Francisco's got a ways to go to join the best Super Bowl cities like Phoenix, like Vegas, like New Orleans, like Indy.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's a terrible city for the Super Bowl. Tis what it is, though. So you're on Radio Row. You spent time as a big free agent acquisition for the Seahawks, and then later in your career you played with the Patriots. We've talked about this a lot, and when you were playing for the Seahawks, it was like a distant moon. Now, a lot has changed, and it's not like that anymore, obviously. But when you see your Seahawks with this kind of attention, what kind of memories does that bring back for you?
I guess I like to think of myself as a humble person, but I think I played a role in where they are right now. I think me coming in, Warren Moon coming in, began to solidify the Seahawks a bit. The ownership went from the Bearing family to Paul Allen. Paul Allen at the time, rest in peace now, but at the time was one of the wealthiest people in the world, I think top 5 wealthiest. So we knew the dollars weren't going to be an issue, and they weren't, as evidenced by the new stadium. They certainly spent money on me and bringing in Warren Moon and the free agents after that. So the beginning of the Seahawks to where they are right now, a perennial playoff team, a team thought of as one of the best organizations in the sport. I was kind of at the tip of the spear there. Unfortunately, in my 8 years there, we didn't win a single playoff game. But the next year, after I left, they went to the Super Bowl. So I'm not sure if I was the gift or the curse, but I like to think I had a role to play in the continued excellence and the sustained excellence in which the organization operates now.
What we're hearing, and you can confirm or deny, is that already there's a preponderance of Seahawks fans in San Francisco. That doesn't surprise me. Obviously, it's a lot easier to get to San Francisco from Seattle than the New England area. I do wonder how you are regarded by Seahawks fans. Do you still get a, oh my God, Chad Brown, that sort of thing? Or are you just a little bit too distant and the Seahawks fans are a little bit too recent?
To get to the media credential area,
Yes.
you've got to walk past the NFL experience area.
Okay.
That line literally circles around the block. So I walked for several San Francisco downtown blocks.
That's a lot.
With all those fans in the NFL experience line, most of them wearing Seahawks jerseys, completely unnoticed. Completely unnoticed. So, you know, I've been on Seattle radio since I've been here and all that. But, I think, gosh, my last season in Seattle was 2004. So, I mean, 22 years ago. Time goes by since then. I think within context, yes, you see me in Seahawks Stadium. I'm raising the 12-man flag. Oh, that's Chad Brown. But see me walking by you as you're excited to get into the NFL experience. I'm just another dude walking by with a backpack on.
How does that make you feel?
Father Time is undefeated, man. and now, I mean, there's certain dudes who are just recognizable. Cam Newton, because he was a bit of a caricature with the hats and the ties and all the clothes.
Sure. Of course.
Michael Vick was behind me doing an interview right before we came on. And he's walking in with 10 dudes. He's got a whole posse around him. So because I roll pretty low key, I think I'm able to kind of slide by unnoticed. And that's okay. Okay. I want to get my credential and get inside. I didn't want to sign autographs for an hour and a half with all the folks in line for the NFL experience.
What about your Patriot connections? How strong of a vibe do you feel with that? As it's two of your teams that are playing in the Super Bowl.
The Patriot media folks, oh my gosh, they love me. They remember me. They love me. You were a great soundbite then. You're a great soundbite now. I thought they did you wrong. I mean, all that kind of stuff because they know the details. The fans just regard me as another one of the older players that Bill Belichick brought in that didn't pan out. And he did that. I mean, he did that with Chad Ochocinco. He did that with so many guys. He did that with Demaryius Thomas. So, I'm not the only guy, who had a great career who's regarded as a Bill Belichick, we'll see if it works out kind of thing. And I think it worked out to me for a small extent, but obviously I did not match the success I had in my previous stops.
Let me give you some Super Bowl stories and get your take on them. Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick got screwed, and we'll find that out officially tonight at NFL Honors. Adam Schefter said, in his opinion, that was the number one story of this entire week.
I think it is, but it's a story upon first reflection. Seems like a purposeful diss to both those foundational football guys. Both of them are clearly first ballot Hall of Fame deserving. But in the end, it's more about the flawed process for the voting. Coaches, contributors, which as an owner, Mr. Kraft is a contributor, and senior players are all put into this weird category off to the side with voting rules into itself. And several of the voters have come out and explained, well, I was trying to clear up some of this log jam for some of these senior players, and hopefully they could get in. So I didn't vote for Belichick or Kraft because my vote had to go for some of these senior players. And so the process needs to be revamped. We've talked about this a bit. I think it needs to be much more like baseball, where it could be 0 guys, or it could be 10 guys. All the guys who meet the threshold for the vote, you get your 80%, you get in. That way we don't have to have these arbitrary categories and all this weirdness that happened and showed up this year and really stained the Hall of Fame legacy of two of the most deserving people, maybe in the last 20 or 30 years, maybe in the all-timeness of the Hall of Fame vote.
10 head coaches, no black coaches. Embarrassing.
Absolutely, it's embarrassing. with a league that's 75% African American, the lack of head coaches and lack of offensive coordinators is just appalling. It's absolutely appalling to think that Eric Bieniemy, who's a play caller, Vance Joseph, who's a play caller, can't do what LaFleur is going to do in Arizona. I know LaFleur is off the Shanahan tree. I know his brother is a coach. But VJ and Eric Bieniemy have been at this grind for a long time. And it's just disrespectful to think that these guys don't deserve that kind of opportunity. So the NFL, the Rooney Rule has its place. Clearly it's not enough. Something else needs to be done to give the ownership the push to get some of these guys the opportunities that they have earned through their coaching prowess.
The politics of a halftime show and alternative halftime shows, which is amazing to me. But I saw that the line to get into the Bad Bunny press conference stretched forever, and people waited for hours to hear from Bad Bunny.
I think the attention speaks to the divide in our country and the ridiculousness of it. Bad Bunny is Puerto Rican. Therefore, he's American.
Yes.
Coldplay,
Yes.
Them dudes ain't American.
No, Coldplay is not American.
Stones, them dudes ain't American,
No.
but this dude is. So just
Yes.
the fact that he speaks and performs in Spanish, it certainly didn't affect his ability to win Grammys a couple of nights ago. He's one of the most popular artists on the planet. On the planet. And suddenly we're going to tune away from the Super Bowl and go watch Kid Rock? Are you freaking kidding me?
All right. And a prediction in the game. Pat Surtain called it like this.
35-7 Seattle.
All right. Thank you to BK from Gorilla Sports for that, who you work for as well. 35-7. I think that is the vibe, Chad. I do. I think most people see it as a Seattle blowout.
I think those folks are suffering from a bad case of recency bias. To think that in 2 weeks' time, Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel can't draw up a great game plan that allows Drake May and this offense to be more productive, I think that's ridiculous. To think that the Patriots only can play one way and they just aren't the best team in the league at situational football. However the game unfolds, they'll find a way to maximize that. That's also ridiculous. I think the Seahawks are a more talented football team. But as we just found out in college football, Indiana wasn't the most talented. They were the best team. Good offense, good defense. Made a couple of special teams play, particularly in the national championship game. Didn't make any mistakes. Were very rarely penalized. That's how the Patriots play. And so the Patriots aren't going to depend upon their offense being high-flying, although I think it will be better. They're going to find a way to maximize each situation. I see this being a close game, and if there's 5 minutes left on the clock and it's a one-score game, how could you not expect the Patriots to find a way to manufacture the win? And so I'm going with the Pats here.
Wow. Well, keep that under your hat if you want to go to any Seahawks parties, but if there's a Wicked Piss of Boston party, you'll be more than welcome. We'll get to the weird odds and ends of the Super Bowl in a second.
There's a world of flavor out there, and to find it, you have to take the journey. Journey Spice Company handcrafts the most premium spice and seasoning blends that have no sugar, no salt, are certified USDA organic, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and always planet-friendly. You are going to love serving amazingly delicious creations while knowing you helped reduce single-use plastics. Make sure to search for Journey Spice Company on Amazon today.
That is picking the Patriots. Thank you to Journey Spice. Save 10% using the code 2026 playoffs at Amazon.com. All right, Chad, give me some odds and ends and quirkiness of the I know you've only been there for probably less than 24 hours, but it doesn't take long to see a lot of goofy things. Give us some of your observations from your brief time there in San Fran on Radio Row or in the city itself.
I've seen Stephen A. Smith yesterday at Radio Row. I saw him today at Radio Row. I saw him at Shannon Sharp's party last night, not too far from Radio Row. It would be annoying for me if everywhere I went, there was 10 people walking behind me with cameras and microphones trying to get you to say something and anything. It's just a weird existence, I think, to be that guy.
Yeah.
And, I would certainly love to take his paycheck, but I don't want to be that dude. I don't want people following me around everywhere I go. And I certainly don't want cameras or microphones in my face trying to get me to say anything. It's got to be such a ridiculous existence.
Yeah.
The Shannon Sharp party last night, the people watching was just fascinating.
Where was it at? Where was the party at?
At like a warehouse / bar kind of thing, a couple of blocks away from Radio Row.
Okay.
And so you got Shannon Sharp and all the people hanging around him. You got the former players outside begging to get in and be admitted in the VIP line.
Right.
You got the line of fans that are around the block are willing to spend their hard-earned money to stand around, I guess, in a warehouse and drink Shannon Sharp's cognac cocktails and pay way too much money for them. I paid $6 for a bottle of water last night.
Wow.
So yeah, the ridiculous. It's pretty early in the week, so it hasn't reached its peak. I think it'll probably peak tomorrow night. I will be at the Mike Ditka cigar party tonight. Not that I smoke cigars. I will be on the indoor part without the cigar smell. But and then I'll watch the NFL honors. They're having a viewing party for former players. So all the guys who didn't get invited to actually be at the ceremony, we can sit around with each other and commiserate how we're not quite the level of stars we thought we were because we're watching in a hotel ballroom and not at the actual ceremony.
Well, the Super Bowl is a game. It is an event. It is a convention. And for guys like you, it's a reunion. So, and sometimes you just don't know who you're going to see, right? That's the most fun part. It's like all of a sudden, whoa, there's that person. And I wonder if you've had that moment this week at all yet. You will have it, but I don't know if you've run into anything like that yet.
I saw Lonnie Paxton, former Patriot,
love Lonnie Paxton.
Bronco.
Oh, he's my guy.
Me, Woody Page, and Shelby Harris did a podcast yesterday. Would have never thought that was going to happen in my life. I didn't draw that one up. So that was cool. I ran into Brian Urlacher. Took a photo with him and Joey Porter. Oh, there's 3 Pro Bowl, one Hall of Fame and 2 dudes who probably deserve to be in the Hall of Good linebackers. So everywhere you turn, it's pretty awesome. This Radio Row experience to see so many former teammates, former friends. Ted Johnson, Colorado Buffalo, former Patriot. He's broadcasting literally a couple of booths away. Christian Fourier, former CU, former Seattle, former Patriot teammate. He was out here he's a professor. He's teaching a broadcasting class at Butler University, and the whole class came out for Radio Row this week.
What?
Yes.
I thought he was a talk show host. I didn't know he was
Professor Fourier.
Sorry.
Never thought I would say those words.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry I'm not. Me and you have had some good runs at Super Bowls ourselves, so I'm sorry I'm not there, but I'm glad you are. And we'll see how the game goes. You're picking the Patriots. That I like that. By the way, for the record, I am pulling for the Patriots because at the end of the day, aside from you, I don't have any ties to Seattle. Seriously, none. I've never even been to Seattle. Can you believe that? I've never been to Seattle. Crazy, right? And I've been everywhere in the country, but Seattle's just one of those cities I've not been to.
Put it on your bucket list. Do it in the summer. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Take it all in.
We were close to doing Seattle, Vancouver, Islands, last summer, and we just couldn't quite get to it. But yes, it definitely is on my bucket list, no doubt about it. I'd like to take my bike and actually do a bike tour from Seattle to Vancouver or vice versa or something like that. But I don't know if they'll welcome me in Canada. That's another story. But Peter and Eileen, my parents, are from Massachusetts, so I'll roll with you on your Patriots pick. But if the Patriots are going to win this game, Chad, they've got to be able to control things and slow that Seattle. But you know what? Hey, man, turnovers, it's nothing new, Chad, right? Like, turnovers will determine everything. And it's the same thing I said for the Broncos with the Patriots. Patience and, what were the 2 Ps? Patience and something. I don't know. Oh, and pressure. Patience and pressure. So if you can put pressure on Sam Darnold, maybe get Drew Lock in the game, because I don't know if Sam's 100% healthy, you've got a shot. And the Patriots got to be happy if this is like a 13-10 game. I think that would suit the Patriots. I think that would be right up their alley, despite the fact they had an unbelievable offense in the regular season. So I'll go with the Patriots. That sounds fun to me. Why not? Another duck boat parade for the folks in New England. You know?
I mean, I would not be surprised if the Seahawks find a way to win. You know, they're multiple tight end sets. They don't run the ball, explosively, but they run it enough. They're consistent. Again, but the turnover thing is going to be critical. Sam Darnold, again, it wasn't too long ago, he was on the sideline telling his coach, I'm seeing ghosts out there.
Right.
And if somebody's going to put ghost on the field, it's Mike Vrabel, who's as sharp as a defensive mind as anybody in the league. So, again, I can see lots of ways for both teams to win the game. I just think the situational awareness, situational football excellence that the Patriots play with gives them a little bit of a nod, and they find a way to win it in a close game.
Last question. Should the Broncos be in this game?
Should the Broncos be in this game? Yes, they should. They certainly had their opportunities in that championship game.
Yeah.
And to blow it with the couple of plays that it took to blow it, it's unfortunate. And now you've got to find your way to claw all the way back there. It's a difficult thing to do, but hopefully everyone is more toughened by the loss this year. My Colorado Buffaloes team, we were undefeated until we lost that Orange Bowl to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And we needed that crushing defeat and that toughening process to come back the next year and win it despite having the nation's toughest schedule. So hopefully the Broncos can build that kind of resolve through this loss and realize we got to be 3 to 5 plays better and we can find a way to be in the Super Bowl. So close, but you didn't execute in critical moments.
No Sean Payton. He ducks the media for the time being. I guess the next time he has to answer these questions is at the Combine, and that's just a couple of weeks away, and we'll be out there for that too, by hook or by crook. We'll figure it out. Chad, have a wonderful time. We'll see you back here in Colorado for Altitude Football's Chad Brown and DMac show. Chad, we'll see you.
See you, buddy. Thanks for having me on, man.
Look, am I ever happy? No.